it would only come later, for example, when the people will be able to give zakat, right? So, but because he needed it now, so what Ibn Umar used to do, he used to go and take camels now. So he'd take one camel with the promise that he would pay back the person 2 camels later on. And he would only pay back the 2 camels later on. When would he pay back the 2 camels later on? He would only pay back the 2 camels later on, only when obviously people had come. إِذَا جَاءَ الْمُصَدَّقِ, when the person would give the charity, then only they would have the 2 camels, right? So he would buy 1 camel for 2 camel. Meaning he would buy 1 camel, give it to me now, and I'll give you 2 camels later on. So this shows therefore that there is no riba in camels, because otherwise it would have to be at the same time, and it would also have to be the same quantity for same quantity, right? Okay. If you cannot understand it, inshallah, try and revise it, inshallah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open it up for you, inshallah, because riba is such an important point that everyone needs to understand. Now this is the hadith. Now let's try and have some practical applications of this. Practical applications of it is that when we have pound for pound or real for real, or we're selling American dollars for American dollars, then you must have the same quantity and it has to be hand in hand. So it doesn't matter if you're giving him one 100-pound note and you're getting back 2 50-pound notes. There is no 100-pound note, is there? Sorry. 50-pound note and you're getting back 5 10-pound notes. Right? It doesn't matter. As long as it is the same quantity, which is 50 pounds for 50 pounds, and it is the same time. Okay. Even if it is of a lower quality, even if the gold at one party is of a lower quality. As an example of this is, for example, sisters, for example, sometimes they have old jewelry, right? And they want to buy the new designs, the new fashion, the new jewelry, right? So they go to the gold merchant, and you know what they say? They say, okay, I'll give you my gold, and I want that new gold, that jewelry over there. Okay? And they say, okay, listen, I have 10 kgs of my jewelry, and I want 10 kgs of that new one. So the gold merchant, who doesn't have any understanding of riba, because he hasn't bothered to come to the lesson today to understand riba, so he says, this miskeen, he doesn't even realize Allah's cursing him because of this. He goes ahead and he says, okay, I'll give you 10 kgs of the new gold for the 10 kgs of the old gold. However, you have to pay, 100 pounds more. Yes or no? This is what happens, isn't it? Yeah. And so the sister as well, she hasn't bothered coming to the lesson, so she pays the 100 pounds. And a'udhu billah, they have both done riba. What was obligatory over here is that it should be 10 kgs for 10 kgs. But obviously that's illogical, isn't it? Why is it illogical? Because we all know that 10 kg of old gold has a lesser value than 10 kgs of new gold. We all agree. And we all know, for example, 10 kgs or 18 karat are of a lesser value than 10 kgs of 24 karat, isn't it? Yes? We all agree. This is the same thing that happened at the time of Rasulullah. Once Rasulullah came to Bilal radiallahu anhu, and Bilal had very nice tamar. He had very nice dates. And so Rasulullah said, akulli tamri khaybar hakada, are all the dates of Khaybar this beautiful, so nice? So Bilal said, La ya Rasulallah, no ya Rasulallah, verily we take 2 baskets of bad dates, of a cheaper quality dates, and we buy with it 1 basket of good dates. Look at that, riba, isn't it? It's a riba. Then Rasulullah said, made an expression basically. And that is a sign of alarm, that he was alarmed. And he said, aynur riba. This is exactly riba. This is exactly riba. So then he told him how to get out of it. So he told him, take these 2 baskets of bad dates and then sell them for money. Then with that money, buy that basket of good dates. Okay, we are thinking, hey, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Why? Because when you have sold off the bad dates, you don't have to go and buy the other one, right? So you have that option. So it is not the same. You have the choice. And because in this way, you have stopped the transaction of just dates for dates, And so you have stopped the fact that the person might end up hoarding all the dates. And all those things that we have already mentioned to you, you have stopped that process. So here the sister, what she should do is she should take the 10 kgs of old gold. Go to the gold merchant and say, here you go, 10 kgs, how much are you going to pay me? I'll pay you 10,000 pounds for that, 1,000 pounds for that. Okay, and the guy gives her the money, then she takes the money, goes out of the shop, physically goes out of the shop. Why are we saying physically go out of the shop? Remember, because we said, as long as they're in the same majlis, same place of contract, they have the choice to cancel it, remember? So she has to physically go out of the shop, therefore making the sale obligatory on both of them. Remember we said obligation as well? See how it's all coming back in here? And then she goes back into the shop and says, hey, I'm back again, I want to buy 10 kgs of new gold, but here's 1,000 pounds and plus 100 pounds. Perfectly halal, beautiful, both of them have barakah in their blessings, and may Allah, inshallah, give her nice gold. Okay? And then, this is halal. But this is the way to make it halal. Any way else is haram. The other way that we mentioned to you is haram. Another practical thing. I mean, if you look at the gold merchants, they are always doing a lot of haram. Even in Medina, subhanAllah, I think there's 99 out of every 100 are doing haram. How are they doing haram? I'll give you an example. If you think about it, it's very easy. How they're doing haram is, okay, obviously, you see, the shops in Medina near the haram, near the Prophet's mosque, his mosque are very expensive. The rent might be 2 million riyals, 3 million riyals, might be 500,000 pounds, 600,000 pounds a year. Okay, one small shop. Okay, and because the rent is so high, people obviously take the shop, and then what they do is they call up these gold companies, such as these companies that are in Dubai and elsewhere. They call them up and say, hey, can you come here, fill up my shop with gold, and then I'll sell the gold, and when I sell the gold, I'll give you back the money. Right? Obviously, so what happens, the gold company comes, gives him the gold, fills up the shop with gold, right? At the rate of 40 riyals per gram, for example. And the guy sells the gold at the rate of 50 riyals per gram, and it'll take him about a year to sell off all the gold, for example. And then after a year, for example, or 3 months, whatever the contract is, he pays them the money. Here, riba has taken place. How is riba taking place, guys? Riba has taken place is because that company has given them the gold and they haven't paid for the money straight away. It has to be yad in yad, isn't it? Has to be hand in hand. Otherwise, riba has taken place. So here, riba has taken place because they haven't paid back the gold company at the same time, and so riba has taken place. Another example with gold. We like to mention gold because this is something that is jewelry. Women like to buy this jewelry. Okay, another way that the people fall into haram: buying jewelry with credit cards. Haram totally. Why? Because credit card means it's a credit, isn't it? The merchant will check your credit card, and they confirm with the credit card company that there is money in your, that you still have money. And then what happens is the merchant will therefore give you the gold on the fact that he has sold you with the credit card. So therefore, when does the merchant really get his money? He only gets it after a week or 2 weeks, whatever, when the credit card company pays him the money, isn't it? So here, he has given gold to the sister without having anything back at the same time. So here we have riba again. In the same way, selling gold on installments is riba. Why? Because you can take the gold now, but you only have to pay it monthly, isn't it? Or interest free, isn't it? 0% interest as we have going on, mashallah, now. 0% interest, and you can pay it back over one year. That's riba. Not to mention that if you don't pay it within 1 year, you'll have to pay more. That's something else. We're talking about, that's riba as well, but that's something else. But what we're talking about is the sister is paying back in installments for the gold that she bought.